Cold winds whipped through the New York streets as CEO Benjamin Carlisle stepped out of his black Escalade, adjusting the cuffs of his Armani coat. The streets bustled with pre-holiday frenzy. People rushed past with coffee cups and cell phones, but Benjamin walked in silence. His heart was empty, hollowed out by years of boardrooms, betrayal, and business wins that meant nothing anymore. He was the youngest tech billionaire in the city. But today, something inside him felt off. Like fate had stepped in. He paused in front of a convenience store to take a call when something tugged at the edge of his coat. "Sir," came a tiny, trembling voice. He looked down. A little girl, maybe 6 years old, stood in a thin pink hoodie that barely reached her waist. Her shoes were falling apart, her backpack was torn, and her brown eyes were wide with desperation. "Sir, please, my sister, she's too weak to beg. Can you help us?" Benjamin blinked. He hadn't heard a voice like that in years. Not since his own sister's funeral when he was 17. The little girl's words hit him like a freight train. Before he could respond, she grabbed his sleeve and pulled. "Please hurry. She's in the trunk." His body stiffened. "The trunk," he repeated. She nodded, pointing to a rusted blue van parked across the street. His instincts screamed danger. What if it was a trap? But something in the girl's trembling voice was too raw, too real. He followed her. And when she opened the van's back trunk, he froze. Inside the rusty trunk lay a teenage girl, maybe 13. Her arms were wrapped around her body, her lips cracked and blue. Her face was gaunt, bruised, and hollow, the kind of face you only saw in war documentaries or nightmares. The little girl whispered, "She hasn't eaten in 2 days. I gave her my crackers, but she's still cold." Benjamin knelt beside the older girl. Her eyes fluttered open. A tear slid down her cheek. "Don't take my sister," she whispered. She didn't do anything. Something inside him shattered. All his meetings, all the contracts, the luxury penthouse, none of it mattered right now. "Get in," he said suddenly, throwing open his Escalade's back door. "Now. Both of you." The little one hesitated. "Are you a bad man?" Benjamin stared at her, stunned. "No," he said quietly. "I'm trying to remember how to be a good one." At Mount Grace Hospital, doctors worked swiftly. The teenager, Emily, was suffering from malnutrition, exposure, and infection. Her younger sister, Lily, had been surviving on handouts and sleeping in laundromats. Their story unfolded slowly, like pieces of a terrible puzzle. Their mother had passed away last winter. Their stepfather, a trucker with a drinking problem, had vanished soon after, leaving the girls to fend for themselves. They were too afraid of being split up in foster care. So they hid. They ran. They survived, barely. Benjamin sat outside the hospital room, fists clenched. He'd once been a foster kid too. After his sister died in an accident, he bounced between homes, some worse than others. He'd buried it all under ambition, money, and noise. But now it clawed back. He made a decision. The next day, he didn't go to the office. He went to court. "I want to be their guardian," he told the judge. "I have the means, the home, the history." The judge looked over his file. "You're a CEO," she said, skeptical. "You're not married. No children. You work 80 hours a week." "I used to," Benjamin said, voice shaking. "But they reminded me what matters. I failed my sister once. I won't fail them." It wasn't easy. There were interviews, home checks, visits from social workers. But Benjamin did it all. Not for appearances. Not for press. For Emily and Lily. He moved them into his penthouse, built them a warm bedroom with fairy lights and bookshelves. Lily clung to him like a shadow. Emily took longer. She'd seen too much. But one night, he found her in the hallway, staring at an old photo of him and his sister. "You lost someone too," she said. He nodded. Emily didn't cry. She just said, "Then you understand why I couldn't lose her." It wasn't all smooth. Emily had nightmares. Lily flinched at loud voices. Benjamin often stayed up at night, unsure if he was doing enough. But he was present. They made pancakes together. He drove them to school. He showed up at every recital and doctor appointment. He started working remotely, delegating the company to trusted staff. His board was furious. Investors warned him about losses. He didn't care. Then one day, Lily came home from school with a crumpled flyer. "There's a father-daughter dance," she whispered. "But it's okay if you're too busy." Benjamin knelt down, eyes misting. "I wouldn't miss it for the world." In the golden lights of the school gym, surrounded by balloons and music, Benjamin stood awkwardly in a rented tuxedo, holding Lily's tiny hand. Emily stood nearby, snapping photos and laughing with her friends, her cheeks no longer hollow, her smile no longer forced. As the slow music played, Lily looked up at him. "Sir," she said. He chuckled. "You can just call me Ben, sweetheart." She shook her head. "No. I mean, can I call you Dad now?" Tears filled his eyes. "Only if I can call you mine." Epilogue, Gentle Spirit. 3 years later, Benjamin officially adopted Emily and Lily. Emily now attends college on a scholarship. Lily just got a puppy and wants to be a writer. Their house is filled with laughter, mismatched socks, and pancake Saturdays. Benjamin still runs his company, but on his terms. He funds shelters, supports foster kids, and quietly pays tuition for dozens of children every year. He once thought success was about money. Now he knows.